All right, guys. So the world didn't end yesterday, I guess. Honestly, we tried to watch the eclipse here, and it was just really dark. We couldn't actually see it. It was cloudy and rainy on my end in Houston, so we couldn't really see it. It was too rainy, and you know. So Tesla is still up from yesterday. NVDA down to 860s. That's not good. We got the SPY itself. A little red day yesterday, but not really anything major so far. Maybe yesterday. Actually, I think yesterday was green. Very flat day ahead of CPI. Yeah, and yesterday we got choppiness too. I might try to trade choppiness today. Like I might range trade by the short the top, cover at the bottom type stuff is what I might do. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, dude, my stomach, man. Freaking knots. What's up, not so boring? Easy Mike, user, Beach Bum, Ashland, Nibbles, Type, Frostbite. What's up, guys? All right. See the news that we got going on today. So did you all see the eclipse? Hopefully y'all got some cool stuff that y'all see. We got Tilray earnings today. We do have that. So we do have Tilray earnings. Yeah, the eclipse looks cool. I mean, I'm watching a bunch of videos about it. They're gonna cut rates so we can finally get in growth back. Nah. No, Apex isn't stocks, it's futures. Let me drink some coffee, bro. My stomach hurts this morning, man. Live cattle it is then. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like, you can trade the NASDAQ 100, which is the index fund with the 100 largest stocks in the world. You can trade the S&P 500 in futures, which is the 500 largest stocks in an index fund. So, like, you can get exposure to day trading stocks, and the patterns in those two things, and the NASDAQ specifically and the S&P 500, are very similar to Apple, NVDA. If you look at what the Q does, which is the NQ, and then you look at NVIDIA, it's very similar. And so, I mean, while you can't trade stocks directly, you can trade index funds. You can trade the Dow, the Russell, whatever you like trading. Yeah, I'm looking for some market news, but all I see is like a bunch of stuff about the. All I see is stuff about the eclipse. Ah, man. There's a lot of jokes. Dixie has for us today. Yeah, Tesla down to 171s, although it had a really good day yesterday. Ripped up a lot. I got a haircut and they cut it too short, bro. I was like, I told the person cutting it, I was like, don't cut it too short, you know? And then they cut it and it's way too short, bro. Like, and I don't mind it this short. Like, it'll always grow out. But I'm kind of mad about it, dude. I'm like, hey, don't cut it short. They cut it short, you know? Sometimes you think it's intentional. I mean, it's all right. It's just really, really short, and it's okay. I got a good hairline anyway, so, like, I'm okay with it. But still, bro, they cut it too freaking short. I think the problem is I wanted it tapered in the back, you know? Optimism. Maybe I'll slide out of submissions easier now in jiu-jitsu. You know, we'll see how that goes. Futures dropping quickly. Let's look at it. Here's the NASDAQ. I do see Tesla falling quite fast. Here's the NASDAQ. Yeah, so the NASDAQ just dumped. Look at the NASDAQ fall here. We did have a bond auction yesterday. Any other news today? I'm looking for some market news. Oh, man. All right, so we got some news we're going to talk about. Time for AI. Where's Bing at? Bing. All right, so here is some of the big news. We're going to put this up again. So Tesla up about 5% yesterday. Bitcoin currently sitting at 70,000. Nasdaq's dipping down quickly too. I mean, honestly, bro, like, look, I built this indicator, right? Like, I built this indicator, I coded it, and just look at it. It doesn't happen a lot, though, is the problem. Like, it's not super often. It happens maybe twice a day on average. But, like, I can't even lie, dude. It seems to work fairly well, you know? Genuinely looks impressive. This is one of the OG songs, one of my favorite songs. Interest rate and what Jamie Dimon said. What did he say? We do have bank earnings at Friday. You talking about the memo to Jamie Dimon and other bankers that says what benefits large banks doesn't necessarily benefit Americans? Your hair is really short? Well, I don't know. I asked them for a 4. I think they gave me a 3. I might have asked for a 3. I don't know. And again, luckily, like, I still got a pretty good hairline from my 30s. So, like, I'm okay with it being this short. It'll grow out. But they did cut it really freaking short. I was even like, hey, keep it a little bit longer, especially on the top. And they just kind of, you know, it's all right. Again, I used to hate short hair. I kind of like it more now. I don't like it this short necessarily, but it'll grow out quick. My hair grows fast and it's thick, so it's all good. I'm not really happy about the short hair, though, but it's all good. Yeah, I mean, Gino, no offense, but you sound emotional, brother. I'm just reporting the news here. This is not me reporting this news. It's not like I'm making up stuff about a freaking robo-taxi, brother. Like, look, Tesla is dropping this news. They've been doing this news for the last few days here, where they said, let me find the specific post. Yeah, this was yesterday. Okay, so here's one of them. There's a bunch of them that say about robo-taxis. One of them says, quote, Tesla was the top performer, up 4.5% yesterday, buoyed by Elon's revelation of the launch of a robo-taxi in August, is what he's saying. He's going to launch the robo-taxi. So again, this is not me. Elon says he's going to drop robo-taxi news. Robo-taxi market could be substantial as Tesla nears entry, says Daiwa Capital's Nathan. Tesla chief Elon Musk says robo-taxi to be unveiled on August 8th. So yeah, robo-taxi's coming. I'm assuming what he means by that is like fully self-driving cars that don't need people in them. I'm assuming that's what he means by robo-taxis, right? Like you have FSD and everything that drives itself, but robo-taxis, I'm assuming, are cars that drive themselves without somebody in them. That's what I'm assuming is a robo-taxi, right? But yeah, man. The CEO of the nation's largest bank said economic risk remains significant. Jamie Dimon wrote in a shareholder letter Monday that interest rates could rise to at least 8%. Well, they've been about 8%, really. So they've been high, you know. Yeah, I don't really care about it growing too fast. It's not like I'm super upset about it. I'm just kind of frustrated, you know. My wife says she actually likes it like this more, but she might just be making me feel better, you know. 10 years rising, is it really? TNX at 4.37%, yeah. That's on stock, so it's not open in stock, so I'm sure it's probably a little bit higher now, yeah. All right, guys, it's the day before CPI. Again, I think the market could be flat today, realistically. I think we could be flat. Maybe not. Ooh, coffee tastes good, man. That's all I'm saying. I wonder if the robotaxi will be programmed to scam you as well. In what way? Tilray drops earnings today, guys. So they do drop earnings at 7 a.m. Market time, 7 a.m. So, okay, so that's in 11 minutes for Tilray. Tilray drops in 11 minutes, chat. Gold rally on a seize from hedge funds apparently. Is gold up? Gold's been rallying the last couple weeks though, really. Yeah, gold up to almost 2400s. I just bought some gold futures. Look at this. We're in gold futures. We got out completely flat. I was trying to day trade it, but I don't know if I'm gonna. I bought one contract of gold futures because I got my indicator alert. But again, I'm not telling you to buy it. I have no freaking idea what this is gonna do. This is way too big of size. I'm gonna have to trade the micro gold futures a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. We'll play with these. Yeah, this is much better. We'll take 4 contracts of micro gold futures. I originally bought regular gold futures, and I started to inside deeply panic. So we're in 4 contracts of micro gold futures. I should be doing this on Apex, but it's all right. Like, we're just here already. I haven't pulled up Apex yet, so. I'm kind of bummed, though. I was originally... it's going to run the rest of the month, Sam. Rest of April. I'm kind of bummed. So I bought regular gold contracts and futures, and I was up $30. I tried to take profit. It turned all the way back down before I could take it. And so I missed out on a $30 gain. It's all right, though. Yesterday was a pretty green day. So... Yeah, for sure, pawn. I got in and out super fast, bro. Like, I ended up buying it. I was like, oh, I'm up $30. And then I'm like, let me take profit. And then it came all the way back down. I ended up getting out completely flat. It's all right. And again, now we are day trading micro gold. I'm going to buy 5 contracts here. Scale in a little bit. I don't mind taking... This is a large account. So, like, I've got a lot of room that I can play with. We got 5 contracts of gold. I gotta be making the switch pretty soon here from TD Ameritrade. They're switching over to Schwab. I haven't done it yet. I don't know if I like this drop, though. I'm gonna have to be prepared to cut this. Actually, if we hold it to 200 EMA, that's good. But... I want to day trade. I'm trying to day trade. I've never really day traded gold, though, so I'm kind of ignorant of it, if that makes sense. CPI tomorrow. Yeah. The day before CPI. Morgan Wallen was arrested. Oh, man, I'm looking the other way for just a second. I'm going to have to cut this. Yeah. I don't have it in me to day trade gold like this. Morgan Wallen arrested on felony charges after allegedly throwing a chair from the 6th floor rooftop bar. Yeah, it's about to get really weird. I don't know why futures dropped. The NASDAQ dipped heavy. Like, fast. So we're going to pull up and we're going to start day trading on Apex, actually. So we're going to pull up. We're going to get ready to start trading on Apex. I want to buy gold right here, but I'm not telling you to buy it. Remember, chat. Let me put this big in letters. Remember, I am terrible and have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything I say. This content is for entertainment purposes only, and my experiences, wins or losses in trades may not be conducted in real time or on stream. I might trade off stream, guys. Don't sue me, okay? Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I might be wildly wrong about everything. Also, understand rule CFTC 4.41, which says hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike actual performance record, they may not represent actual trading. All right. Now, this is real money. When I day traded this was real money, not simulated or anything like that. This is Thinkorswim. I've got about 70K in Thinkorswim. That's about the size of this account. So, but I'm putting that disclaimer up nonetheless. So I guess we did have a pretty good day yesterday. We made some money. Tesla bouncing all the way back up. All right, let's try to buy gold, huh? Shall we? I want to buy gold. There it is. Okay. All right, we bought gold, guys. We're in gold. We're flat. When's the next Fed meeting? About 3 weeks away. So the Fed meeting happens every 6 weeks, right? So it's every 6 weeks the Fed meeting happens. In between that, like right in the middle between meeting to meeting, they have what's called the FOMC minutes report. That's tomorrow. So that meeting to meeting report is tomorrow. And so that will influence what happens, or that will give us some details on why the Fed did what they did in the last meeting, but it's the middle period between meetings, meeting to meeting, right? So again, every 6 weeks, the Fed meets to determine interest rate decision, and in between that, you have what's called the FOMC minutes report. All right, so we got a nice little bounce. It looks like we should be green here, but I know gold is spready, so we're going to try to let it move up a little bit more. We got 2 contracts. Don't do it to me. Yeah, we're going to have to cut that very quickly here. Oh, we got Tilray dropping in about 2 minutes, chat. 2 minutes. Maybe I should have traded micros. Gold has beaten me up and spit me out today, guys. We lost $60 in my stock account. We lost like way more than that in my funded account here, unfortunately. Taking away all the gains we made yesterday in about 10 seconds. Top 3 worst traders of all time ever right now. Yeah, it can't be good for Uber. But I think Uber's so big right now. Uber's still got a couple decades, really. Like, realistically, I think they still got a couple decades. All right, guys. Gold diving down a little bit here, chat. I don't know. My personal account it's much lower risk for sure. Like, much lower risk. This account, I'm up 4 figures, so I'm up over $1,000 this year trading it and investing it. Mostly swing trades are what I'm good at. Like, I'm not here to claim to be some expert day trader or anything like that. I still day trade sometimes, but it depends. Like, usually I'm trying to shoot for a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm trying to risk anywhere between like 50 and $100 per trade, give or take, you know. Sometimes more, sometimes less though. All right, guys, Tilray drops earnings. They're scheduled to release earnings in about 45 seconds for Tilray. So let's throw them up on screen here. Tilray Cannabis Company. Very flat and neutral right now, though. Very neutral, not really doing much. They could be waiting. So Tilray is expecting, chat, $0.04 loss per share on 200.46 million in rev. So Tilray expected at 7 a.m. All right, so Tilray down here, chat. They're down. They're back up. Let's see if they're out. They got to be out. That's a big move that they just did. So Tilray Brands out. Net revenue of 188.3 mil, increased 30% in the third quarter. Gross profit 49.4 mil, increased 17% to 51.6 million in the third quarter. Gross margin was 26%. Dude, I hate, just give me the freaking EPS, the revenue, and the freaking guidance, bro. I don't care about all this other stuff. I know y'all want to hype it up. I get it. All right. Adjusted EBITDA, 10.2 million in the third quarter. Yep, I see they're out. Okay. Net revenue increased 165% over the prior year's quarter. Fifth largest craft beer brewer in the U.S. with 4.5% craft beer market share. Net revenues. Cannabis net revenues increased 33% with international cannabis growth of 44% of the prior year's quarter. Number one market share in Canada and number one market share in Germany for cannabis. Please just give me the EPS, dude. Where's the freaking EPS, man? I hate it when companies do this. Like, what did they do? Okay, they're down, but they're disguising their freaking earnings report. I want to just see I want to see revenue. I want to see EPS. Not for the individual sectors. I want to see actual broad company revenue. Yeah, which they're saying everything but these things. So I'm getting kind of frustrated. I know I could just look at the actual earnings report, but I'd rather not. Somebody help me out here. Yeah, Tilray earnings are out. They're down a little bit. You covering a failing company? Laugh out loud. I'm covering every company that's well known. Tilray's pretty well known as a company. We had people asking about it yesterday. So yeah, we're covering it. We cover everything. It doesn't matter whether they're the shining beacon of success or total failure. We're covering it for the most part, as long as it's like a well-known, popular company. Anyways, I'm still looking for the freaking. They've hidden the EPS and the revenue here. I don't see anything. All right, let's see if they show here. Let me look somewhere else. I'm gonna have to go to a completely different source because they are having a hard time posting this. Let's see. Okay. They posted 5-cent loss, a larger loss than expected. I still don't see what the revenue is, but they posted a larger loss than expected, which is probably why they're hiding their revenue, in all honesty here. Yep. I hate it when companies do this, man. I'm reading their earnings report, but like... All right, here's guidance. For its fiscal year ending May 31st, the company is now guiding to adjusted EBITDA target of 60 million to 63 million. In addition, the company no longer expects to generate positive adjusted free cash flow for the full year 2024 due to delayed timing for collecting cash on various asset sales. Boom. That's why they're down. Bad guidance. They lost 5 cents per share when they expected 4. I just need their revenue now. Anybody got their revenue? Can somebody help me out here? EBITDA growing. I see net revenue, but I don't want net revenue. Maybe the net revenue is the one I do want. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, 188 million, which is lower than the 200 plus million expected. So they missed both, basically all of it. Yeah, so Tilray here. I'll put this up on screen since they basically tried to. Tilray. a 5-cent loss per share. On revenue of 188 mil versus 200 mil expected. Yeah, 200.4 million, but whatever. Versus minus 0.4 expected. Here's the numbers right here for Tilray, and again they're down. Has Tilray already come out? Yeah, they're out. Again, they're right here. They've dropped already. Google reportedly expands in-house chip efforts and is going to roll out new hardware that can handle tasks from YouTube advertising to big data analysis as the company combats rising AI costs, according to the Wall Street Journal. So Google building in-house chips. Interesting. Yeah, so again, we'll see what the market does. NVIDIA back over the VWAP, starting to bounce back. I'll be right back, Chad. I got to go do something. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I'm reading this thing about Jamie Dimon. So I am reading this thing about Jamie Dimon. Yeah, Tilray starting to crack lows, probably dragging the rest of the cannabis market down, I'm assuming here. So yeah, Tilray down, cracking lows. Again, probably dragging the rest of the cannabis market down. I'm reading this thing about Jamie Dimon from Barron's, and again, I'm quoting Barron's here. And they're kind of shaming him a little bit. They said, quote, Jamie Dimon probably bought his crystal ball from a thrift shop. Remember his economic hurricane prediction in 2022? Yeah, basically, he thought we were going to hit a recession, and we didn't. You know, and this is why, like, you see so many people misled, because, like, a lot of people just get these newsletters, and they follow these newsletters, and they think they've got some insider understanding because of these things that these big CEOs say, like Dimon. But he was wildly wrong about this. We were telling people we didn't have to hit a recession and that it didn't necessarily have to happen. And we had a lot of people arguing with us about how a recession was inevitable. It was going to happen and, you know, blah, 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 right? And again, the reason you get so many people that are like this is because they, number one, a lot of them are in mortgages or real estate, and so they want interest rates to come back down. So they kind of want us to hit a recession so that the Fed starts to get a little bit more dovish and reducing rates and bringing interest rates back down. And so it's confirmation bias to a certain extent, which drink every time I say confirmation bias. But yeah, again, anyways, so he thought we'd hit a recession a few years ago. We didn't. But he may be onto something, they're saying, on his latest letter to shareholders. He forecasted that interest rates could reach 8%. A lot of people are saying that might be a little out there of a prediction. But his warnings around inflation rates staying higher than expected should be taken seriously, they're saying. Wednesday, CPI is expected to show inflation up to 3.4% in March from 3.2% in February. Yeah, but core is expected to decrease. So basically what this means is that energy and food prices are bumping up, or expected to bump up a little bit. The Fed's 2% target is proving elusive. Diamond has longer-term inflation concerns. Increased military spending as global conflicts intensify could cause inflation problems. He said fiscal spending needs to be transitioned to a green economy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this 2% inflation target, while I understand it and it's good, it is something that, like, okay, so I don't think we necessarily need to hit 2%. Like, this 2% goal, I'm not saying it's an unreasonable expectation. I just don't necessarily think, like, we have to hit 2% to be in a good spot. You know, I think if we get down to 2.5%, we're doing pretty freaking good. You know, if we can maintain down there, again, we're doing pretty good. Tilray dumping here, Chad. Tilray dumping. Market blasts one direction until open, and tricks you into the other an hour later. What an ugly week to be. Yeah, I mean, y'all are coming. I mean, again, the likelihood that y'all are two different people is pretty low. Number one. Number two is that I'm not really like a day trading guru, bro. Like, y'all are coming to a channel that mostly covers stock market news and economic data that calls himself beginner trading, right? Like, my channel's not about day trading gurus. Like, I'm not claiming to be some pro day trader. I never have been. Like, again, y'all are coming to a channel called beginner trading and complaining that I'm not day trading enough, or whatever y'all's complaints is. And again, cheers to you guys. It's all good, I guess. But, like, I think it's unreasonable. But hey, you know, listen, let it out. It's all right. Yeah, look at Tilray dump here. Again, I told people before, I'm going to say it again, I'm skeptical of the U.S. cannabis market. I don't think we're going to get federal legalization anytime soon for cannabis. I just don't think it's happening, you know? I Start a Home now is going for 500K. What do you mean I Start a Home? Yeah, 2%. I mean, everybody always, like, they're all up in the air about 2%. I don't think we have to hit this number, you know? Mm. Is there any announcement today from the Fed? Not really. Market blast one direction until open, and yeah. CGC might be better. I don't think. No, I'm not really mad at you. I thought the channel was called Continuous Nonstop Trader. I know, bro. Listen. Top 3. Yeah, again, it's most of the time people are just big mad. Like, something I said triggered them to be upset is usually what it is, right? Like, I think it's very clear my channel's not like a day trading guru. Again, we mostly cover economic data. If you look at all my streams here, I don't know how people are going to take that. Like, look, like, I'm not saying we don't day trade or post day trading streams, but again, like, if we look at my channel here, you know, jobless claims the day before CPI, non-farm payrolls, manufacturing PMI, the JOLTS job report, Jerome Powell Fed speech, GameStop earnings, you know, NVDA, Chicago PMI, Jerome Powell speech, FOMC meeting, jobless claims, NVIDIA keynote speech, you know, PPI data, quad witching day, payroll data release, CPI data release, Powell speaking again. Like, you know, we got 50,000 views for this House speech. Damn. Anyways, but my point is, if you could take this and be like, John's a day trading guru, then I don't know what to tell you, man. They're just big mad. That's all it really is. Like, realistically, they're just mad they're not doing what I'm doing. The biggest haters in the world are people who have tried to do this and failed, right? Like, if somebody tries to start, like, let's say a crypto channel and then fails at that crypto channel, they might get big mad and go around just kind of critiquing other channels, right? It's misery loves company. They're just unhappy with themselves, you know? And let it out, guys. It's all right. I'm going to let it out, too. Maybe this is therapeutic for me, you know? Nobody will tell. Where's GameStop at anyway? GameStop had earnings. Oof, GameStop are looking rough. I come here for the top quality info you give, not for the day trading tips. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Again, like I said, the likelihood that some of the haters are actually different people and not somebody just saying something negative, logging out, logging back into an alt account, saying the same thing and agreeing with themselves is pretty low. But, you know. So BLK launched a tokenized fund. Assets are to hit 10 trillion by 2030. You know, the big thing, another big thing that we're not really talking about, look at Tilray still dumb. A thing that we're not talking about as much, though, chat, is we have bank earnings on Friday, specifically BLK earnings on Friday. This will be a really interesting earnings report because BLK, it's going to be their first, let me look at their EPS graph, or let me look at their revenue graph. All right, so here's BLK, right? So this is BLK. They're supposed to report earnings Friday, right? So Friday they're supposed to report earnings, and I want to see if AI is going to really benefit them. So here's their graph. Let's see what they're looking like. Here's Friday. They're expecting 928 EPS, chat. 928. So again, if you want to know how much these Bitcoin ETFs are benefiting companies like BLK, they are expecting 928. So they are expecting double this in revenue. Or wait. Yeah. Double this in revenue. Hold on, let me make sure. Actually, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Never mind. Hold on. I need the EPS graph. I'm dumb. Hold on. Okay, never mind. It's less impressive than I originally saw. Okay, so they're expecting 928. So they are expecting an increase here. So they're expecting to show up here. I want to know, I guess they're the largest fund in the world. So they're expecting about right here. I'm trying to see what their net revenue is expected at 4.65. So I'm curious to see what they show and what they talk about during this earnings call. Because again, this is after the Bitcoin ETFs have dropped. I'm genuinely curious to see if they're going to have some big, you know, interesting stuff. No, it's all good, P. I'm not mad at you, bro. It's all good, dude. I think you said I had an inferiority complex or something like that, and so I put you in timeout just because, like, come on now, bro. Like, one thing you'll see me do is I'll troll the trolls a little bit. Because, number one, again, I've said this before, but I would rather have something to talk about, right? And sometimes the haters give me something to talk about, right? So, like, you know, if somebody's hating, it'll give me like a transition to something to talk about on stream. And a lot of the time what you'll see me do specifically is like I'll troll them a little bit, and because that's the only real way to deal with them. But it doesn't mean I have an inferiority complex. It just means, like, you got to understand my side from a business perspective, which is dead air is not good, right? Like, sitting here not talking is going to cause people to leave. And so we're trying to talk about something. And again, most of the time we're responding to comments on stream. So we're responding to comments. Sometimes the comments are good. Sometimes the comments are bad. But if we respond to the good, or if we respond to the bad comments, it doesn't mean, like, anything like that. It just means that I'm just trying to keep it going, keep it running, have something to talk about. And sometimes people will like drama, and so we'll talk about drama a little bit more. So I hope that makes sense. Smoking weed is just as bad as smoking cigarettes, and we all know how that went. Weed stocks are a bad bet. I mean, again, it's not about whether they're good for you or not, type K, right? Like, it's number one, you smoke cannabis much less than you smoke cigarettes. You smoke cigarettes literally every 30 minutes for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that smoke every 15 minutes. So cannabis is going to be used noticeably less, number one. Number two is that it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad for you in that way, because it's not about whether it's good or bad for you. Cheeseburgers are bad for you, brother. Donuts are bad for you, bro. Donuts are bad for you. They're worse for you than cannabis, certainly. Like, if you eat 5 donuts a day, it's going to be really bad for you. And so it's not about whether it's good or bad for you. That's not the argument, and that's a silly argument. If that's the case, we should start outlawing cheeseburgers. It's not about that. What it's really about is having an even standard of things that are allowed versus not allowed, right? If we're going to sell liquor, an objectively more harmful drug, and it is a drug. People can say whatever they want. Coffee's a drug, right? But if we're going to sell liquor at gas stations, okay, cannabis should be legal. Objectively. Like, looking at the standard of legalization, it should be legal, right? That's the only argument to really have. And so I think it's important to make that distinction. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, P. Again, I'm not really mad at you, bro. If I misinterpreted it, my bad. No, I haven't seen a black one, AJ. I've seen the normal silver colored Cybertrucks. I don't know, that seems like a high price. Hey, later, P. Have a good day, bro. Dixie struggling. Yeah, I mean, the Nasdaq's down a lot. Tesla had a big, good day, but it's also dipping down a little bit. So Tesla ripped 5% yesterday. Again, what's dropping the markets, again, we talked about this many times already today, but we'll talk about it again. What's dropping markets is Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan CEO, basically saying he thinks that interest rates are going to remain sticky. He doesn't think interest rates are going to go down this year. He thinks they're going to remain and maybe get up higher to 8%. His argument for higher interest rates are military spending, inflation problems. He thinks that tomorrow's CPI report is expected to show up higher than expected. Is expected to show up higher than last time. What he's not mentioning, though, is it's just regular CPI. Core CPI is actually expected to decrease month to month. And I know that's not as fun of a headline as, hey, the world's going to end, inflation is going up, or whatever. But again, core CPI, which a lot of people would argue is a more accurate CPI, is expected to decrease month to month, right? So if we look at the expectations for CPI, tomorrow, right? These do drop tomorrow. Regular CPI is expected to increase 0.2% month to month, from 3.2 on the year to 3.4%. At the same time, regular month to month CPI is expected to decrease. So, like, I think Dimon is leaving out a huge piece of CPI tomorrow. Again, last month to month CPI. So in terms of month to month increase to decrease, last time it was 0.4%. Tomorrow they're expecting 0.3%. So it is expected to, inflation's not expected to decrease. The rate of increase is expected to go down month to month from 0.4 to 0.3%. For regular CPI month to month, the one he's bringing up is the year over year projection, which compares it to the same period last year. I'm talking about right now, you know, and again, so I think basically what I think Diamond is doing is he's taking one piece of CPI out of context, and he's using that to argue bearishness in markets, and that's tanking the market. You know, if we look at, there's Tilray down. If we look at the SPY here, the SPY did open up red today from Jamie's comments, but it's still back up. Very, very flat day. A lot of the time ahead of CPI, we'll get choppiness. And so I do expect we're going to get choppiness today leading into it. And we might take some choppy trades. Like we might try to short it if we're at the top of the range and maybe long it if we're at the bottom of the range. But again, we'll see. Time will tell, you know. Again, I don't really like Diamond. I think that he can be really wrong in a lot of ways. And I think time has shown that he is, you know. I thought this channel would be like, hey, what impacts today's pricing? Yeah, because we don't talk about any of that stuff, do we, Major? You know, nothing we just mentioned is about, you know, stock market news, pricing, or anything, right? Get out of here, bro. I would not say donuts are worse than cannabis. I mean, it's subjective, I guess. I would argue it is, but it depends, right? It really depends. I would say if somebody is not smoking cannabis and they're consuming it without smoking it, it's much healthier for some people than donuts. Like without question, it's healthier than donuts. You know, humans have cannabinoid receptors in their brain. What does that mean? You know, again, hunter-gatherers would walk around picking things, right? And what they had the most access to, which is essentially what's the least foreign to the human body, are what are now superfoods. If you look at the superfoods now, they're blueberries and strawberries and berries, because human beings had a lot of access to those, and so they're the least foreign things to our body. They cause the least amount of inflammation. When we relate that to the cannabinoid receptors in our brain, what does that show? That shows that humans consumed it as hunter-gatherers, and we actually have the receptors in our brain to show that. Cannabis has also been shown to reduce inflammation, which is only something that human beings consumed historically would cause that. And so again, I guess what it means is that it's plausible that humans consumed cannabis throughout their evolutionary history, and that's one of the reasons they actually reduce inflammations. Donuts, on the other hand, if we're comparing donuts to cannabis, cause massive amounts of inflammation in the gut. They have tons of processed sugar in them, which causes really, really bad inflammation problems and just are not healthy for you at all. And again, I'm not really one to consume cannabis. Like I don't really like it. I'm never saying, I'm not saying I never did, but it's not something I do. I was always too paranoid for it. Like I have, my brain is too, you know, jumpy to consume cannabis, but I still think we should legalize it and tax it. Yeah, I don't know about Diamond, if he's going to retire this year. I think he said we would be in a recession by now, when we're not. You know, he calls, like, we get a lot of bearish traders here on the stream. One thing that Diamond did is he told everybody we hit a recession. And again, people take his credibility seriously because he's the CEO of one of the largest banks in the world. And in the end, we didn't hit a recession. A lot of people missed out on making money in 2023 when the market ripped up 24% based off of, like, expert analysis like Jamie Dimon. And so again, he was just wildly wrong about what would happen, economics wise and market wise. You know, market ripped up, the economy, jobs are doing well, and inflation went down. So again, I think I take everything Dimon says with a grain of salt. And again, I think he's taking inflation data out of context. I think if you look at both core inflation expected to decrease year over year and month to month, not actually decrease, but slow year over year, month to month. Regular month to month CPI is expected to slow as well. The only one that's expected to increase month to month is the year over year base CPI, and that's the only one he referenced. And so I don't know. I think he's being a little misleading there. Yeah, no, I believe that, doctor. I'm not arguing any of that stuff. Again, I'm not really one to argue about what, again, it's not none of that. And again, we're only talking about this because Tilray reported earnings, and Tilray's down big, and people are talking about whether cannabis is good or not. But yeah, Tilray down to 220s, fell a lot on earnings, missed EPS, missed revenue, lowered guidance, worse guidance than expected. That's why, if you want to know why Tilray's down, again, missed EPS, missed revenue, lower guidance than expected. So that is the reason Tilray is down. And yeah, again, I'm not a big believer in it. I don't think we're going to get federal legalization anytime soon. So while they might be doing well in other countries, in the U.S. terms, I just don't know if I'm a big believer in this company so far. I think eventually we will, but I don't know when it's going to be. It might be 10 or 20 years. So. Yeah, well, maybe so, Sam. If so, my bad. In America. Yeah, the point I was trying to make, Sam, is that if we're looking at donuts versus cannabis, cannabis reduces inflammation. CBD reduces inflammation. Which means that in terms of like our evolutionary history, it's not super foreign to the human body, right? Processed sugar is something that our hunter-gatherer ancestors did not have access to. And so what happens when you consume processed sugar? You get gut inflammation, what does that signal? That signals that it's more foreign to the human body. You see it a lot with white flour, processed sugar, things that our hunter-gatherer ancestors couldn't consume, so they're foreign to the human body. They cause problems, right? And inflation is the root cause of acne, cancer, like all these different, ailments. And so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see all these people trying to pump Tilray. Bad numbers, bad EPS, bad revenue, bad guidance. They can try to take it out of context or, but thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. And again, Sam is some type of scientist. I don't know what you do, bro, but I know you're some type of scientist. But that's my point, is that the arguments against it are silly. They really are. Like, I take CBD to sleep sometimes. But again, you got a bunch of people that essentially are regurgitating like 70s, 80s viewpoints of it, and they're not really educated on it. They don't really understand like that. There's good things for humans and there's bad things. I'm not going to say cannabis is good necessarily, but it's certainly not, I would argue it's certainly not bad as long as you don't smoke it. But again, definitely top 3 least knowledgeable people in the world right now. And again, I'm skeptical of it. I've been skeptical of it. Tilray was actually once $300 a share. And again, at the time, I was pretty bearish on it. I didn't think it should be up there. I thought it was way too high. PhD in physics. Okay. Well, a little bit different, but it's all good. Yeah, I'm just not a big believer in this one. Let's see what happens. Again, they used to have other companies about it. ACB, APHA. APHA is not even a company anymore, I guess. They went out of business. Nike. Up a little bit on the day. See what Nike does. AMD. We're still looking at AMD. AMD over 170s. It's the day before CPI. We don't really have any big economic reports, but it is a pretty big day in markets. Yeah, the problem with sugar is that it's processed, right, Detra? So, like, white processed sugar is terrible for people. Like, terrible for people, Like, natural sugar is not that much better, but it's not processed, and so it causes less inflammation. Natural sugar does. That's the big problem with it. Same thing with, like, white flour. Why you see a lot of people with, like, gluten intolerances, because, that's not really good either. And it makes sense evolutionary wise, where if you look at what our hunter-gatherer ancestors had access to, right? They had access to lean meats, like deer and stuff like that. Venison, they had access to fish, they had access to berries, right? So those are all very objectively healthy things. Lean meats, berries, fish, objectively healthy things. If you look at what's not healthy, it's things that they didn't have access to. So white flour, processed sugar, and so those are the things that are the worst for people in general. Yeah, I think I'm still in PFE. Yeah, I am. I'm still red in it, but I've been in it for a while. Average price is like 32.90s. I think I bought a little bit more of Nike yesterday. I kind of buy Nike on the dip, and we're up, so that's good. We'll see if it holds. Let me see. So again, AMD at 170 15s. Again, look at this little dip buy here on Tesla. I gotta start watching my indicator. I was wrong on gold though. I took some positions on gold and lost money. I think I was a little late on the position though. I think if I would have gotten in when it originally showed up, I would have made money. Yeah, we're going to do a poll today. I don't think we've done one. Does tomorrow's CPI inflation data come in higher or lower than expected? Vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, so again, Google had some news too here. Again, Google reportedly are expanding their in-house chip efforts and they're going to roll out new hardware that can handle tasks from YouTube advertising to big data analysis as the company combats rising AI costs, according to the Wall Street Journal. So Google has some news. Let's see if they're up or down on this report. I'm in them right now, so hey, and they are up nicely on this report. You love to see it. They're up a ton already this year, and that's great. Let's see if they continue. So 71% so far thinking they come in higher than expected here. So we got this up here as well. Yeah, oil's interesting as well. NVIDIA did dip, though, so NVIDIA at 869s. I don't know if they're going to hold or what they're going to do. But, yeah. Google rising, though. You love to see it. Yeah, I'm in Exxon right now. I've been in Exxon with a pretty small share size, and I'm up over $100. And so, that's nice. We'll see if it holds. But I don't know if I should take a little bit of profit. I think I will. I'm going to take just a little bit off, just because I'm up so much in oil. That I might as well take some off, right? Yeah, we're going to take, 40% of the position off or so. Keep the rest, I think, is what I'm doing. Gold has been doing really, really nice too. Ford, we're also green in Ford. ARM, still up a lot in ARM. ARM has held its gains, surprisingly enough. Oracle, we're green in that one too. PayPal, still up a lot. Yeah, is YouTube off for you guys? I think it's been glitching a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's glitching. Well, no, the stream is good. Like, the stream isn't down. But yeah, this election year is going to be crazy, man. Tesla almost back up there. Look at Google rip, though. Google looking very strong today. Very strong. Yeah, I'm still kind of mad. The lady cut my hair way too freaking short. The lady cut my hair really short. I told her to keep it long too, and she didn't. It's okay. I used to hate my hair being short when I was young. When I was like a teenager, I freaking hated short hair. I hated having short hair. Any views on... I'm not touching BA. I'm not messing with it. I really am not. I just don't want to have anything to do with it. I tried to buy it. I was able to hang out for like a couple days in it, and then I ended up just jumping out of it. I think it's too risky, in all honesty. It's just too much. So there's too much weirdness going on out inside, and so I'm just not trying to mess with them. Alibaba's up. I think I'm still in Baba. Yeah, I am still in Baba. I'm pretty much flat in it, though. But we'll see what happens with them as well. Yeah, we'll see. Millennials and Gen Z's trendy new splurge. Groceries. Bro, I went to Sam's Club yesterday. It's so cheap at Sam's Club. So cheap. I didn't get to see the eclipse. I really didn't. Like, it just got really dark in my area. I was at Sam's Club, so I guess if there's a place to be if the world's about to end, it's Sam's Club. All right, chat. I don't know who this guy Darth Power is, but he's funny, dude. So listen to this. I'm not sure who he's talking about, though. He said, imagine you're a dummy who makes $50K a year and buys a $40,000 Kia Sorento car. You can't afford it and begin to fall behind on payments, and the repo man is chasing you around. During this time, some old white guy who bought 400 Kia Sorentos decides to bribe some politicians to offer 30-year fixed-rate 0% loans on Kia Sorentos. Everyone deserves a Kia. Not letting people buy a Kia is bad. Women deserve Kias too. Overnight, there are lines around the block to own and flip Kia Sorentos. The price jumps to $200,000 per Kia, and the moron who makes $50,000 a year makes $160,000 profit. The guy then quits his job, tells everybody how smart and successful he is, starts a YouTube channel, and offers courses on how and why to own Kia Sorentos for profit. That's housing for 40 years. Oh. Swap out Kia Sorentos for housing is his point. But yeah, love it. I wouldn't buy a Kia, though. You know, if I'm going to spend $40K on a car, it ain't going to be a freaking Kia. You know. Five-way move, three-way pullback. Baba is up. I'm going to get ready to start day trading here, chat. Hopefully we get some good stuff. All right, so SEC is delaying the decision about options trading on spot Bitcoin ETFs. Ooh, man. That's when it's really going to open up, is when you start getting options trading. Hey, bud. How you doing, man? Love you, dude. You doing okay, buddy? You ready to have a great day at school? Thanks, buddy. My son says to subscribe, guys. Thanks, bud. I love you, man. Have a great day, bud. All right. John, I was a Forex trader for many years. I want to say thanks for putting me on futures. It's a game changer. It really is. There's a lot less red tape in futures, for sure. So, yeah, you learn. Yeah. Yeah, there's no 8:30 press release today, though. We do have mortgage data dropping at 7 a.m., I believe, today. I think we got mortgage data dropping. All right, so the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission received first applications for spot Bitcoin ETF, according to Kayakson. Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad, Todd. I'm just not going to buy a Kia. Again, they're too new for me. They're too new of a company for me. Well, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I'm pretty sure we get. Yeah, so we have. Okay, no, never mind. We don't have mortgage rates coming out today. I think they come out tomorrow. Yeah, so actually, I'm sorry. They come out tomorrow. 30-year mortgage rates, NBA mortgage applications, purchase index, mortgage market index, refinance index. That drops tomorrow, not today. So, sorry. I agree that everything impacts the markets, but I wonder if... Yeah, I think houses are good, right? I think rental properties are the future, or not the future, I'm sorry. I think rental properties are good hedges. It's all inflation hedges, right? So you just got to figure out what you're comfortable with. Rental properties have the biggest return versus money spent, you know? So like rental properties, you know, the 1% rule in rental properties, meaning you got to make every month about 1%. You want to make 1% of your property's value every month is what the rule is. So you buy a $250,000 rental property, you want to make $2,500 a month from it if you can. You know, now that's a little bit hard to do, but we'll just say that if you make $2,500 a month, you know, that's going to give you about $30K a year. You know, about 30 grand a year in income from that rental property. I mean, this is minus taxes, so we'll say let's take out at least 40% of that. So let's say you're making about 18K a year in income, you know, in net, we'll call it net income. And so yeah, I mean, making 18K a year in net income, and this doesn't even include appreciation over time. The other good part, so you're going to make about $18,000 a year in income from this rental property, as well as the fact that the rental property will probably appreciate as time goes on. Now, you don't want to hold it forever, because the longer you hold it, the riskier it gets, because the older the property gets, really. So you don't want to hold it forever. You want to hold it for maybe 10, 20 years, more or less, and then you want to sell it at the end of that, make your money back plus some, and you've basically profited, you know, 18 grand a year for free. That is why, not for free as well, you're going to make money probably on the sale as well. It's most likely to appreciate. And again, you're all trying to keep up with inflation. And so one of the time true tested things is housing. Housing keeps up with inflation for the most part. And now there's outliers, sure. Same thing with gold. Gold keeps up with inflation for the most part. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ keeps up with inflation for the most part. So these are all inflation hedges. And if you sit on cash, you're going to lose money over time. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not talking about mortgages either. I'm talking about paying cash, because I think right now mortgages simply don't make enough sense. You know, again, people tell you, oh, just refinance. It's like, yeah, but how long are you going to pay super high mortgages until you can refinance for a lower rate? Who knows when rates are going to go down, and you're going to get stuck paying a super high rate until you refinance. You're also going to have to put, like, again, it's just, yeah, it's not worth it. People are putting all their money into CDs for 5% a year, and stocks are going up 5% a month. I know, man. Honestly, I've had to argue with some people about CDs. Like, a lot of people don't understand CDs, right? So like they're spitting out like an annualized rate. You know, I had some people come to me and they're like, hey, you know, this 3-month CD will pay 5%. And it's like, yeah, it's 5% annually. And so it's 5% times 0.25 is what it really is, right? Because again, like, that's the real math behind it. So again, you got, let's say you got 100K, you know, 100K, and it's a 3-month CD, you know, so you're going to make again, 5%, which is $5,000, but you're not going to make $5,000 because you're only holding it for 3 months. So it's an annualized rate. So really, you're going to make about $1,250 in 3 months, right? So again, you're going to make about $420 a month, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's bad, right? But it's not great either. And it depends on whether you need the money for other stuff or what's going on there. And so CDs are cool. Like, I get it. Like, they're fine. You could just stick the money in the S&P 500 and make way more than that. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time. I'm not saying it's automatic, but most of the time you're going to make much more than a CD. Again, like, I would rather, you could buy bonds for the same thing. Like the 10-year bonds right now, they're paying 4.4% roughly, 4.4 or more. So so most bonds are almost paying 5% anyway. So you can buy treasury bonds. Like, there's a lot of ways you could get 5%. 5% is not really the crazy good number that a lot of people expect it to be. And again, there's a lot of other ways to make money, you know. All right, so the Bored Ape themed hamburger restaurant in Long Beach, California has shut down according to Web3. Is going great. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, look, you don't have enough, like, yeah. The problem with people creating restaurants, I see it all the time. I saw it yesterday. Yesterday, my wife and I were walking. We saw a barber shop, and the barber shop was empty. Nobody was in there. And we had this discussion about brick and mortar businesses and how a lot of the time people just want to start businesses just to say they started a business, right? But it's so much more in depth than that. Like, actually starting a business, it takes so much more work. And again, recently I was going to start a business with 2 other guys, right? Like, we were going to start a specific business. I'm not going to say what it was or whatever, but it relied heavily on traffic, like foot traffic. Right. And so, you know, we're looking around. One of the guys was younger than me, like much younger, early 20s. The other guy was older than me, to be honest. Right. But we all were going to throw in and start this business or whatever. And again, part of that involved getting a lease, like a commercial lease, which is very risky. Like, getting a commercial lease, like, bro, you're getting locked in for 2 to 3 years, paying, you know, thousands of dollars for 2 to 3 years. And so if we're going to, what I told him in the beginning was like, look, if we're going to do this, we need to be very selective about location, right? Like, most people start a business and they're so desperate to start a business and tell people that they're a business owner that they just kind of rush into whatever location will take them, right? But location is everything in brick and mortar businesses. If you're not selective, look at Tesla rip up, guys, almost up to 173.50s. If you're not selective in location, you're going to fail. Like, it's not even arguable. This, at least with most businesses, you're going to fail. And so one of the problems was that the younger guy, who's probably never started businesses like this, he wanted to rush into it. He really wanted to do it. And so and we started, and again, it relied on, like, we were like, parents bringing their kids there were going to be some of the major customers for this business, right? And we found a place, and it was kind of a sketchy area. Like, it wasn't a good area at all. It was very difficult to get to, very difficult to drive to, and just overall, like, a really sketchy area. And so he's all excited about it, like, hey, let's do this. And I'm sitting there like, I don't think this is going to work here. Like, this ain't going to work. Like, I'd rather pay more and get a better location than risk this, right? Because it wasn't that much cheaper than the other option. And he got weird about it almost. And like, you know, in the end, I think people are so desperate to start a business that they don't think about it beforehand. And I think businesses like that, especially brick and mortar businesses, you have to be selective. The same thing my wife and I were talking about, this barbershop. This person opened up a barbershop and they just named it whatever. It's in a pretty ducked off part of town. And, they were struggling business wise. And so again, if you're going to lock yourself, and what I told the guy was this, I was like, look, man, if I'm going to lock myself into a lease for 3 years, it needs to be a good location. Like, it needs to make sense. And I think people are just so desperate to start a business that they ignore logic sometimes. And I think that's the problem with most brick and mortar businesses. It's one of the reasons most of them fail, is because they just kind of blindly start them. They don't really study the market. They don't really study the location. They don't really wait for a good location. They just kind of blindly run in. And then when they fail, they don't know what happened, Yeah, I'm not talking about mortgage payments, JT. So JT says your mortgage payment on that rental property is going to be about $2,500 a month. I'm not talking about a mortgage, bro. I'm not paying a mortgage. I'm talking about buying it cash is what it makes sense to. Which I understand is not going to be most people. I'm in the process of buying a rental property right now. Same, honestly, a very similar price range. Very similar thing, but yeah, we're not getting a mortgage. DraftKings. Yeah, DraftKings has had a really good year. It's been pulling back a little bit, but it's still... DraftKings is up simply too much for me in my taste here. Like, look at DKNG, and then look at the last year. I remember this one was at 15, 20 bucks. And it really, at the beginning of the 52 weeks ago, it was at about that. It was at 18 bucks. It's just up too much. Like, this is way too high up there for me. I'm not trying to buy this up here. I think it's up simply too much. If we pull back a little bit down to like here, maybe I'd consider it. But for now, it's up too much for me to buy it. I don't know. Barbershops, again, I think that might not have been the best example, because I do think that even if you have a bad location for a barbershop, if you market it correctly and use social media marketing, you could still succeed. It was definitely not a Pokemon trading card shop. I think that's a risky business to start. It doesn't make enough money, but it doesn't matter what it was. Anyways, we didn't end up doing it. I felt rushed into it, and I think yeah, I think people have to make smart decisions, you know, and you just got to be smart with businesses. John, paying cash for your main home is the best thing. It's not my main home. Can't there be a lot of tax advantages by taking on a mortgage? There can be. There could be also... There's a lot of tax advantages for buying property regardless of whether it's a mortgage or not, you know? Like, sure, you can write off your mortgage expenses and your, you know, stuff like that, but you could also write off the purchase of the home to begin with, I think, right? Yeah, I think 3 years might be what it takes, Nibbles, to get interest down. Hey, nice. I am proud of you. I think that's a good plan. He says he's going to live in one unit and rent out the other in a duplex. I think that's a good move. Buy a small cabin cottage by the beach. Yeah, but bro, a beachfront cabin is going to cost like $1 million. It depends on what beach. But it's not like, listen, I wish I could find a beachfront property for cheap like that. It's gonna be very difficult to find one. People like in real estate, there's certain aspects of homes that make them noticeably more expensive. One of them is like if it leads into woods, if it's got a wooded area around it, so like privacy, people will pay more for that. If it's beachfront, if it's waterfront, if it's lakefront, you're gonna pay a premium for that home, you know. 5 years or 5 miles near the beach, maybe. All right, guys. Hey, we have inflation data dropping tomorrow. BMW and Rimac agreeing to a long-term partnership with aim to co-develop and co-produce innovative solutions in the field of high-voltage battery tech for selected BEVs. All right, so Bayer and Google are going to accelerate the development of AI-powered healthcare applications for radiologists. Yeah, I'll pay more for privacy too. I'm a big privacy guy. I don't like being too close to people. All right, so Tesla dipping down again. DraftKings is up. We'll probably get ready to start day trading some here. Top 3 worst day traders in the world right now. We did lose a little bit on gold already this morning in futures, and that's okay. We're going to try to trade the NASDAQ here, see if it's moving. We got to watch NVIDIA, though. Part of me wants to buy this dip, but I'm gonna short this up here, I think, actually. Just because I'm gonna start to scale into positions up here. Just because I think that it's arguable that we could have choppy neutral range today because of it's inflation days. Alright, so we are testing the highs. I'm going to short a little bit more, and we're going to get into maybe 4 to 6 contracts here. It's a longer term idea, though. So again, we got 4 contracts here. It really is a longer term trading idea. I don't want... I want to scalp this, or I don't want to scalp this. I mean, I'd like to attack the range long term. And again, it's the day before CPI, so I think we could get choppy sideways range. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let this run. So we're up about 20 bucks in it. We did get that rejection up here. The house went up 155K in the last 3 years. Yeah, a lot of them did. All right, so Discover Financial announced a strategic collab with Google Cloud to introduce generative AI tech into customer care centers. So we are getting some... Google AI news. Yeah, Google's breaking highs again. Looks really nice today. That's a lot per student, 100K. That's excessive, in my opinion. But hey, let him make his money, brother. Listen, I'm for it. You know. All right, so again, we're up about 20 bucks. Trying to trade chop. I'm gonna take one off here. Just lock in some profit, protect the trade. Okay. All right, Chad. So we're in this. We took a little bit of profit off. They already have that, JT. Yeah, so we're back up here again. We took a slice off of this. I might take a little bit off. We just took a little bit off of our Google position. We've made so much on it, so it's been a great trade. Oh my gosh, I looked the other way. Ugh. Something happened. Yeah, we gotta get out of that. Oh no, I just short double this. Oh, crap, dude. Well, try to manage two different things at once. What happened? What caused this spike in the NASDAQ? NVIDIA, I guess, over 870s? I don't know. Crazy. Yeah, and again, we lost, of course. Yeah, it could be Google, but Google's already been up, so I'm... Yeah, could be one of those days. It's ahead of CPI data, so it could be flat. Again, I'm going to tread lightly today, or try to, at least. You know. Inflation data does come out tomorrow. Yeah, as the title says, the day before CPI inflation data. So yeah, we're just covering. Yeah. I mean, I'm usually scalping. I just got distracted from stocks. It happens. Like I said, it's all good. Could be worse. You think Kathy's right about Tesla going to 2K? I don't know, man. It depends on. It depends, I think. You know. $80 security industry essential license. Yeah, the Blackwell chip, very powerful chip. We watched the NVIDIA conference. Powerful chip tech. Couldn't break it 18,360s yesterday, but testing this morning. All right, so look at Tesla. Tesla is rising. NVIDIA is still under that previous closing price. Tesla at 173.50s. DraftKings at, again, I don't really like DraftKings. Google's been moving a lot of stuff, though. Here's Google. Google up to 158, so Google's been running. Yeah, it's also the day before CPI, so again, I tend to be on that train of like thought where I think we could get choppiness. Pre-market's a little bit different though, but we'll wait. Maybe we'll see if we can make it back after the open. But I'm not going to trade too crazy today. I think the day before CPI can be volatile. Tilray did bounce. See, look at this trend indicator that I built here. So there's Tesla. It worked on Tesla. Look at Tilray too. On Tilray, it literally called the legit bottom. This code that I built. Look at that. Literally called the bottom. It's getting pretty good. I have to test it more. It's hard for me to test it because it doesn't show up a lot. And I don't know how to set alerts on TOS to give me the indicator alerts. I know it kind of like alerts me a little bit, but call it the Tilray. Alright, so there's the NASDAQ falling. Where's Microsoft? Microsoft's slightly green. I don't know about FOMC meeting, bro. Listen, the FOMC meeting is not tomorrow. The FOMC is it's what's called the FOMC minutes report. It's a detailed document detailing again why they chose to make the decision they did in the last Fed meeting. So this happens right in the middle of the period in between Fed meetings. So the Fed meeting happens, and then 3 weeks later we get the FOMC minutes report, and then 3 weeks later from that we get the Fed decision again, right? So this is just the middle ground between the last Fed meeting and this Fed meeting, this upcoming Fed meeting. But it's called the FOMC minutes report. It's just a document detailing why they did what they did. Is essentially what it is tomorrow. Again, we're going to stream it live like we always do, but that's what it is. It's a document detailing why the Fed made the decision they did. All right, so we ripped up a lot. Now we're just kind of sideways, choppy. Not doing much. What other big tech stocks? I haven't really looked at Amazon. Amazon up a lot too today, although it did mostly get flat and choppy yesterday. All right, so we are shorting the S&P 500 here. You can see we're up hundreds. We're gonna go ahead and cut that. So we basically made our money back. We're down 50 bucks on the day. We shorted the S&P, a little bit riskier of a trade, but I didn't think this was going to hold. Again, I think it's the day before CPI. And so, yeah, we're down less than 60. I mean, so here's our P&L. So, again, we made it back in one trade. We're down 55 bucks today. Could be worse, right? Definitely could be worse. But, again, my logic of this trade is this. Okay, so a lot of the time what happens is this, is that we move up to these levels, technical-wise, right? We move up to these levels. if we, after one or two candles, if we don't rip up and break this, typically like a bullish move will look like this, right? It'll go up, pull back a little bit, rip back up, right? And so if we go up and then we consolidate for too long, I like a short, because I think once we consolidate for a certain amount of time, it's much more probable that we're going to come back down a little bit. And so that's the short I took there, and it worked really well. So yeah, we made a couple $100 from that short, and now we're basically flat on the day, basically flat. Also, chat, we are day trading on Apex funded account programs. Apex gives you a demo. They test your skill. For the time being, they get 80% off. You got 80% off of Apex products. And again, Apex is really nice. And again, if you have reasonable expectations for it, it could be a powerful thing. The first thing to understand is, like, listen, I don't care what anybody says, what course you take, what mentor you follow, most day traders are about to lose. Okay, so if you put up thousands of dollars in the beginning, and this is not arguable, if you ask even the day trading gurus should admit this, if you put up thousands of dollars, you're probably going to lose that couple $1,000 in the beginning for your first few accounts. Most day traders lose their first few accounts. Not arguable. Apex gives you a solution to that, right? So this is a funded account program. They're going to give you a demo, and they're going to test your skill with a demo account first. But what you're working towards is a funded account. And so the base one is a 25K one, right? So the base one is 25K. If you can make $1,500 in profit on a 25K demo account without losing $1,500 first, you can use 4 E-mini or 40 micro contracts, which is plenty of size. If you can do that, following their rules, all that good stuff, they fund you 25K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 25K in profit. And so it's limited risk. This only costs 30 or $35. If you lose, you're out 30, $35. It's not the end of the world. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get 90% split, you get to keep your first 25K in profit. And so it's a perfect middle ground of pressure to learn day trading. Instead of giving up thousands for your first couple accounts, this is a perfect middle ground. You're still risking something, but you're not risking the full extent of thousands of dollars like most day traders have to. And and this is futures specifically. So in the futures market, you can day trade short, buy market, sell market. You can see it's very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule in futures. I can't trade individual stocks, but I can trade index funds. I can trade the S&P, basically the SPY price action. I can day trade the NASDAQ, basically the Q price action. No PDT rule. And it's just a perfect middle ground to learn day trading. And if you're good enough as a day trader to where you think you can pass this test, you can get started for very cheap. And once you're funded to get 90% split, and they've paid out millions, they've paid out over $100 million. And again, to be fair, I think most day traders will lose this as well, because I think most day traders are going to lose. It doesn't matter where they go. Most day traders are going to lose. It's a lot cheaper to lose this than put up thousands yourself. I promise you. It's a lot cheaper most of the time, at least. Most of the time. And so again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. Always remember, I am terrible and have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Don't sue me. CFTC Rule 4.41. Understand it. Hypothetical or simulated performance with these funded account programs have certain limitations, all that good stuff. Understand this rule, guys. But again, if you want to check it out, use promo code BT. Beginner Trading will get you the max discount. Max discount. Okay, Coin, so you're asking the same thing every day, even though people answered you. So yesterday you asked the same thing, Pawn answered you. Now you're asking the same thing every plug. I'm not sure I understand. Yeah, it's $80. Depends on which one you have. You're not getting paid by audience, so it's First Amendment made. It's not about it being illegal. I would rather let people know, like, listen, again, I've told you guys this all the time, right? If I wanted to, based off of the following that I have, I could make millions of dollars selling a sleazy day trading course, day trading mentorship program, trying to charge people thousands of dollars for essentially publicly available content, right? Like, if you think I couldn't put out a bunch of sensationalized marketing, acting like I am just the guru of all gurus, rent a Lambo, you know, show my house. I live in a nice house. Show my house off. and act like I'm somehow here from day trading profits. I could certainly do that and make millions of dollars doing it. I don't, because I'd rather just be real with people. And real with people means telling them that most day traders lose. Telling them that most content you can find is publicly available. And I've always been this way. It's one of the reasons we grew a following, is because I'm telling people the truth, right? I have sponsors. I'm biased in their favor. They pay me money, you know. But I tell people the truth throughout all of it. And I think that's one of the reasons we grow a following. I'd rather sleep good at night and make a little bit less and make money on the back end than put up, you know, and then act like some shady guru charging people thousands of dollars. I'd rather just not be that. Love you.
Love you.
Have a good day. Yeah, no, you're not bothering me, Coin. I'm just asking, you know. It's a disclosure type thing. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm just trying to, I'd rather be honest. All right, chat. Part of me wants to buy this dip. Should I? I think I will. We're going to keep it 2 contracts. Keep it pretty small. And again, this is on Apex right now, so you can see very similar to day trading stocks. I'm buying market, selling market. This is the NASDAQ, the QQQ, essentially price action. Yeah, it's all good, Coin. As long as you don't ask me again tomorrow after I do a plug, it's all good, bro. NVIDIA going to be choppy until earnings? Maybe, man. Again, NVIDIA was our largest earnings, our largest stream ever was NVIDIA. We had 14,000 concurrent viewers. 14,000. Crazy amount of viewers, to be honest. And so I'm ready for the next one, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah. All right, so we're up a little bit here. I'm going to buy more. I'm going to add more to this. We got 3 contracts, 4 contracts. We'll get up to 5 or 6. All right, there we go. Nice little pop. Let's see if we can get a little bit more from this. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so Google did post some chip news. They also reportedly are, yeah, so here it is. All right, so there we go. We're up nice. We just took half of it off up there at the top. We got 2 contracts left. Take a little bit more off, lock it in. So yeah, we're very close to flat. We're down like $35 right now or something like that. A little bit less than that, actually. We'll hold the rest break even. Okay, so we're dumping down. We got to cut that. So we lost a little bit on the last leg. Still made money on the trade, though. So yeah, the Bored Ape store closed down. So even one of the greatest investors of all time isn't sure he made profits from shorting in his career. Short selling a tough game, according to Steve Burns. I like it. It's fun, he says. you can get your head handed to you, and it's a game that really only professionals in the mass against you. If you're wrong on a long, you can lose 100%. If you're wrong on a short, you can lose 10 times your money. Yeah. Again, everybody wants to short. They want to be Michael Burry. They watch the movie Big Short. They idolize it, romanticize it, take a bunch of overly short sentiments, and get mad when the market runs up like it normally does. You see it a lot. The divorce rate in San Francisco is over 70% after tens of thousands of Bay Area product managers. So I thought people were talking about the Dixie, the dollar index. Apparently they were talking about DXYZ. What is this? Destiny Tech? What is this? Crazy movements here, though. Look at this. DXYZ. Look at this range. Recent IPO'd on the 26th of March, up to $100 from $820s in its IPO. Crazy. AMC hit its lowest price in history. Again, a pre-split price of a pre-split price of 29 cents, 28.5 cents. Steve Jobs. Again, if you want to know why you should monetize your passions, chat. All right, so here's the NASDAQ pop up a little bit. If you want to know why you should monetize your passions, it's because it's the one thing that you're going to have the resilience to actually succeed in. You know, most businesses fail. There's a very famous quote, or there's a very famous statistic, is really what it is. And it goes, your first 6 businesses usually fail. So when you start to want to become an entrepreneur and start businesses, the first 6 you try probably will fail, right? And I can tell you this, or the average person fails at 6 businesses before they succeed at 1. So it's a 6-to-1 ratio of success or failures to success businesses. And this is probably true. I started a lot of businesses before I found some that succeed. And some I had varying degrees of success. Like, again, started a used book business. You know, it worked. I made thousands of dollars a month. It wasn't scalable, though. It was scalable, but it would have been so much work for little scalability, and I just wasn't about it. But, again, Steve Jobs said, quote, people who start a company because they want to make a lot of money, I haven't seen many of those succeed. And, again, what he means by that is, like, exactly what I just said, which is that if you want to succeed at business, you got to have the resiliency to keep pushing even though it's bleak. And I think that's a hard thing to do. I think most people can't do that, and because of that, most businesses fail. But if you start one in something that you're genuinely passionate about, you're going to have an easier time succeeding. Let me see. CLSK. It was a Manny. Yeah, I'm more of investing in swing trading. I make most of my money investing in swing trading, really. I'm not saying I don't day trade. I do day trade regularly. You guys see me day trade, but it's not something in which, like, it's not something that I live off of by any means. I'm not, again, people who try to criticize the channel, a lot of the time they try to, like, when I think it's hard to find things to critique me, you know, on. And so if you want to be a hater, there's not really much you can say, except you might be able to insult my day trading, or like, I don't day trade enough or whatever. But again, that's under the assumption that we're a day trading channel, and we're not. Like, we're economic data mostly. Like, most of my big streams are economic reports, earnings. CPI tomorrow will have thousands of people here. PCE data, jobless claims, you know, PPI data will have thousands of people, NVDA earnings, stuff like that. We're not really a day trading channel. We kind of evolved past that. We still day trade, you know, and we do have sponsors and stuff, but But yeah, most of my money's made swing trading and investing. That's my favorite type of trading. I think that type of trading has the biggest edge versus others, like relative to day trading or anything like that. But you can make a bunch of money day trading. You know, I'm not saying you can't. You can also lose a bunch of money too. I wish I had 50 mil in the bank, bro. Bro, if I had 50 million in the bank, I wouldn't be here. You know. Most of you guys wouldn't either if you did. You know, 50 million, brother? Like, listen, dude, I got 50 million. I'll show you what I'd do with it. If I had 50 million in the bank. 50 million. All right, right now bonds are paying out. For almost 5%, 4.5% roughly right now for 10-year bonds, right? So if I had 50 million, I'm taking 25% of this, okay, 12.5 mil, and I am investing it in the S&P 500, okay? So let's say the S&P 500 has an average return of 8% a year. All right, so every year you're going to make about 8% with compounding, okay? With compounding, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 10 years, that 12.5 million is going to more than double. It's going to go to about 27 million. All right, so that's the first thing I'd do. I'd take 25% of it. I'd stick it in the S&P 500. I'd take another 25% of it, which is 12.5 mil, and I would buy bonds with it. I'd stick it in bonds. Again, bonds are going to pay me about 4.5%. Yeah. Bonds are going to pay me about 4.5%. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At the end of it, we're going to have about 20 million on the other half. Right? So both of these investments are going to earn me about what is that? About 25, 30 million dollars, you know, give or take. Actually, this is only about 7 million. So 7 plus 12. So yeah, about 20 million is what it's going to make me. Again, and that's the first half. So then we still got 25 million left, right? The other, another 12.5 million, I'm probably going to diversify it into like a bunch of different rental properties. I'll buy duplexes, multifamily. I'll buy some commercial, maybe buy like an apartment complex for a couple million or whatever. And I diversify it into that. And then I'd live off of the last 12.5 million, most likely, right? Like and then I'd live off the last 12.5 million, use that for like immediate expenses. I'd probably take 6 of that, stick it aside, stick it in like a cash, like just sit on cash for, 6 million of it. And then I'd live off of the other 6 million. I'd buy a home, I'd buy some cool stuff, and I'd just live life, right? But the point is, I wouldn't be here. Right, I wouldn't be here right now on YouTube, certainly. I might occasionally stream. I certainly wouldn't stream this much. Point is, with $50 million, you could just live off of the interest, you know. All right, so we did move up to test this range. Again, I don't know much about this stock here. I can see Tesla, though. Tesla is up. NVDA, test that previous closing price. Oh, sorry, bumping my mic. Tesla testing the previous close is pulling back down now, though. Or not at Tesla. NVIDIA testing the previous close is pulling back down now. Yeah, but with 50 million, you could like make a lot more than 2.5 million a year. You know, you can make a lot more than 5 million a year. I mean, part of it, again, I'm doing that with part of it, right? So I did that with bonds, 4.5%. You're not quite going to get 5. I mean, you could do a couple different things, but yeah, I would put some of it to work with for me and make about 5% a year, sure. But I'm also going to put it in the S&P. I'm going to diversify, buy real estate, buy the S&P, buy the NASDAQ. I'll probably put some in crypto as well. I'll probably take $1 or $2 and throw it in crypto as well. But my neighbor has a boat and it sank. Poor neighbor. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, there's no way I'm buying a yacht. I get seasick, personally. Like, I get seasick. I couldn't, like, I wouldn't buy a yacht even if I had the money for it, you know? I think you would still come back to work, John. Yeah, I probably would, but it wouldn't be every day. Like, I'd probably still come back. But it ain't gonna be, I'd probably still come back, but it ain't gonna be every day. You know? Like, I'd probably still be back here, but it ain't gonna be all day. Every day. Would you buy a Honda Prelude? 50 mil? Nah. If I had 50 mil, I'd probably buy like one of the new McLarens. What are your thoughts if Bitcoin reaches 100K? Huge sell-off. That's a big psychological number. I don't know. I think maybe it could have a slight rejection, but I don't think it matters. I think it depends on how quickly it hits that. I don't know. I don't like the new Supras. The old ones are cool. The new ones, they're a little too small, I think. And I know the old ones were small too, but I just don't like the way the new ones look. They look too small. They look too, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of them. All right, chat. Dude, a bunch of fake scamming pawns showed up again. Mega yachts cost $25,000 a day to earn. 25 a day? Really that much? I'm surprised. Even I know, like, okay, 25K a year or 25K a day is 9.125 million a year. That's a lot. I guess it depends on how much you can make from it, though. Like, I know you could rent it out and do some stuff like that for like high prices. Whether you could rent it out for enough to make back what you spent on it and upkeep is a different story. Yeah, I mean, taxes cost a lot of money too. Like in Texas, right? You buy $1 million house, you're paying $20,000, $30,000 a year just to live in that house for property taxes, for most part. All right, so we're testing the top of that range here. NVIDIA testing that previous closing price. Part of me wants to short this. I think I'm going to. I'm going to short it at the top. I think NVIDIA could reject at this top level, and so we'll let it work a little bit. Again, we're pretty much flat. We lost a bunch, made a bunch back, and now we're basically flat heading into the market open in about 45 minutes. Hey, there we go. All right, we're in 4 contracts now. So we have 4 contracts here, short at the top of the range. We probably should have initially just entered in at 4. We'd be up right now. No, we don't have any big news today. Tomorrow the big news starts. CPI day. Today's boring. Tomorrow, you know. Tomorrow's where the big stuff drops for sure. And again, we are day trading on Apex's funded account program. They give you a demo, they test your skill. Once you're funded, if you pass the test, you get 90% split. We just took most of this off. Again, they give you a demo, they test your skill. This is a $50,000 funded account on Apex. We got a 90% split on this, and so if we make 10K, we get to keep 9K. And again, it's just a great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. If you lose, not the end of the world. We're going to go ahead and take another piece of this off. But if you're good enough to pass it, again, you get a 90% split. This is a 50K funded account. It's only like 45 bucks if you use my link. You get it for like 40 or 45 bucks. And again, if you lose, you're only out 40, 45 bucks. They give you a 50K demo. I think you got to make 3K in profit on the 50K demo without losing over 2,500. And so you got a almost 1-to-1 ratio there. And again, most day traders lose. And so this is just a great way to limit your risk in the beginning. Instead of risking thousands of dollars, what I did in the beginning is I put up 3K, lost it very quickly. We're going to go ahead and cut this. Yeah, so we put up like 3 or 4 grand, lost it very, very fast. Was super disheartened about it. And again, you can kind of avoid those losses in the beginning, limiting your risk. If you lose this, you're out 40 or 45 bucks for the 50K when the 25K when it's only like 30 or 35 bucks. And again, in the futures market, you can see it's very similar to day trading stocks. Really, I'm watching NVIDIA to influence my trades a lot of the time. I'm trading the QQQ price action and what's called the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. And again, I buy market, sell market, all that good stuff. Very similar to day trading stocks, just a lot less risk. And again, if you lose, it's not the end of the world. Great way to learn how to day trade, limited risk. And so, again, I'll put this link up. Great way to help support the channel. You get a 90% off. Remember, if you want the max discount at all times, just use promo code BT. You think SPY will move mostly sideways today? I think it's possible with inflation data coming out tomorrow that the SPY is choppy and boring. I think it's very possible. I don't know if we're going to get a choppy day, but I think it's possible. All right, guys. So 15 to 20% a year of the initial purchase price of a multi-million-dollar boat. Conor McGregor is probably. Sometimes we trade off stream. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. FOMC minutes releases tomorrow. Alf. Tomorrow. Again, we're basically flat on the day. We're down like $25, so could be a lot worse. Do you play trades live we can follow? I don't announce, I don't give out call outs or picks or anything like that. That's not really my thing. I'm not trying to be a day trading guru or anything like that. We day trade at the open every day. But I certainly don't give call outs or picks or anything like that because really I'm just not really wanting to be that way. Again, we mostly cover economic reports here. We just don't have any big economic reports today. And we day trade, but we also swing trade, we invest. I certainly don't give out signals myself. I'm going to go ahead and buy this dip. No, I think I'm going to take the other side of this trade. We're going to take 4 contracts off the get-go. Well, the Bitcoin miners, I'm not sure how they're going to react. I know the halving is going to cut their profits in half, though, from mining Bitcoin. Amazon just broke highs, ripped up. All right, we're slightly green here. Now we're slightly red. I gotta stop looking the other way. Very close to cutting it. And again, if we can start the day with $50 or less in losses, that's great. I do see NVIDIA start to run up a little bit. Let's see if we can drag the NASDAQ up. Part of me wants to add to this too, because I do think that it's possible if NVIDIA breaks this level. It's the second time NVIDIA is testing the previous closing price. I think it could drag the NASDAQ up with us, but all right, we'll go ahead and try it. And if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Nice rip. We're going to go ahead and immediately take half of this off, or a little bit less than half. Or nah, we're going to take half. Okay, we're going to lock in half of that profit just because we can. We just got a nice big spike up very quickly. And again, exactly what we thought would happen happened, chat. Look at the NVIDIA break. We talked about exactly what we wanted to do here and why we wanted to do it. And we thought that NVIDIA could break. We thought that NVIDIA could break over the previous closing price and that could drag the NASDAQ up with us. So we'll hold the rest here. But yeah, we're completely flat now, which is great. We'll hold the rest break even now too. Tesla rising too, but yeah, again, we talked about NVIDIA breaking the previous closing price and why we thought it could. It was the second time NVIDIA had tested the previous closing price, so basically it had tested it, rejected it, and then fought its way all the way back up to it. And so with that, it's very plausible in that situation that it breaks the previous closing price on the second or third test if it fights its way back up there. If it rejects, comes all the way back down, and then still has the strength to fight its way back up there, I think that's a really good spot to take the trades. And again, we're going to hold the rest break even, so our risk is very small. Alright, we're out. We got out break even on the rest, which is great. We are trading on Quant Tower on Apex. So we are trading Quant Tower on a Rhythmic account on Apex. MMAT is so sketchy, man. It's just a failed company. Split over and over again. No, I don't do any sports betting. The only thing I'll ever really try to do is MMA, because I know MMA very well. I've watched it for a decade plus now, so I know the fighters. I have some fun with it, but I don't bet it. Again, most sports betting is another market very similar to day trading, in that look, let me think of the delicate way to put this. It's mostly scammers. Right, like, okay, let me give you some understanding about it. And you see people trying to start all these sports betting businesses, you know, like giving out picks. Like, most of them are just scamming you. Like, the number one, if your guru in sports betting was really making money like that, he would probably get booted out of most of the platforms he's betting sports on, because successful sport bettors, it's just like if somebody counts cards in blackjack, right? If the casino recognizes that they're going to do what's called a back off. They're going to kick you out, basically. And so all these people claiming to be sports betting gurus, they just know that they can sell you guys these bet packages for obscene hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're hoping you're desperate enough to, you know, win, that you'll buy it, right? But again, I'm not saying all of them. There are really good sports bettors out there. But the people selling packages on online are not them. Right, like, that's not them. Like, those are people that are just essentially trying to make money from gamblers hoping to make money. But again, if somebody's really that good at sports betting, they'll get booted off very quickly. They'll get a back off letter very quickly. And again, you don't see a lot of the gurus selling picks, because they're not really making money like that. You know, like, there's so much variance. Anybody that understands statistics, okay, has to understand that, like, look, there's so much variance that comes with probabilities, you know? So, like, you could say your call-outs are the best and that your picks are the best or whatever it is, but anybody that actually understands, like, statistics understands that you need to have a large sample size for any edge in sports betting to truly play out, right? So selling these packages where they've got, like, 3 or 4 freaking bets in them, they know it's a scam. Like, they know those things are not genuine. Like, they know that even if they did have an edge, which they don't, it's going to take a very large sample size for that edge to play out, right? And so, yeah, you see all these guys selling sports betting packages. It's just total freaking nonsense, man. You know, they're losing money sports betting just like you are. The Fed news drops tomorrow, Anthony. So the Fed news drops tomorrow. So tomorrow we have what's called the FOMC minutes report. It's a detailed file, on why the Fed chose to make the decision they did in the last FOMC meeting. But that's tomorrow. If my picks are the best, I just bet it. Yeah, 100%. Again, it's I would argue it's sleazier than the day trading picks people sell, right? And you get people that are like, bro, I bought picks and won. It's the same thing. Like, look, if I sell a if I was a day trading guru being sleazy, okay, I could sell signals telling people buy this here, buy that here, sell this here, sell that there, right? And I'm not talking about algorithms, because algorithms are different. Some of them are genuinely good. But if I wanted to be a sleazeball, I could say, hey, I'm going to sell somebody a pick in trading. And I could say, hey, buy ABC stock at $1 and sell it at 105. You know, so you got a 5-cent reward target. Your risk level is 20 cents, right? So really it's a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. It's a terrible ratio. And with that ratio, you're going to make money most of the time. Like, you're going to make 5 cents before you lose 20 cents. But when you lose, you're going to lose 4 times your money, you know? And so if I sell that to somebody that is kind of oblivious to the nature of these things, they're going to sit there and be like, they might make money, right? And they're going to come back and be like, dang, bro, John's got the great picks. Like, John's the greatest. He made me money, right? Because they haven't really gone through those 4, probable, scenarios where they're going to eventually lose everything. They haven't really hit the max loss yet. And again, that's their job. They want you to come back, right? And same thing in sports betting. They're going to give you like a gimme pick, something with super big odds in their favor, right? It's not going to be too crazy, but they're going to give you something with like 4-to-1 odds in the winner's favor, and they're going to give you that pick and be like, yeah, pick, they're going to give you that pick, pick Bo Nickel as an example. Bo's fighting in UFC 300. He's almost certainly going to win, right? But they're going to give you a gimme pick like that just so that you come back and buy more, right? But again, eventually you're going to lose way more than that. The odds are stacked against you. And so they're just taking advantage of naive consumers, is what it is. If I follow your trades, will I make money? No. You will certainly lose money. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. Top 3 losing money picks in the world right now. Yeah, you're not going to make money if you copy my trades. In fact, you'll probably lose your life savings. Don't do it. Tilray, look at this. Tilray, we did get a little bounce there. NVIDIA is still testing these highs. We'll see if it ends up breaking it. This is right around the highs. We did have some orders showing up here. So we'll see if we break this on NVIDIA. Could be a resistance level too. And again, if we look at the NASDAQ, it's pretty flat. John is an expert at losing money. Top 3 losing traders in the world right now. All right, guys. Hey, we got 25 minutes. We'll see what happens. All right, we're testing the top of that range. And again, NVIDIA did break up there. It's up to almost 874s. The real question is, when does NVIDIA break back both over 900 as well as 1,000? I don't know. People sell courses to sell their information. Same reason you pay for college. Ain't nothing free in this country we live in, the U.S. I mean, listen. If somebody wants to sell a reasonable price course, like a $500 or less, I guess, if it's a lot of content, sure, do it. I'm not necessarily mad at that. As long as they don't give out, like, the problem, I'm not against people selling courses. Okay, what I'm against people is giving out unrealistic expectations to traders. Right? Like, if you got to tell people that you're going to get rich if you buy the course, if the marketing is that you can find financial freedom, quickly if you buy their course, if the marketing is throwing out crazy, large, unreasonable expectation gains where you're acting like you can turn 5K into 20K in a week or a month or whatever it is, if you can make 5% a day, stuff like that, which is just totally nonsense expectations, then I have to critique you, because again, that's total nonsense. It's not going to happen. Most day traders lose. If you're telling people most day traders lose, you might have more edge or whatever, that's one thing. If you're telling people that they can buy your course and somehow like earn thousands of percent a year, hundreds of percent a year based off of the course. I don't know, man. I think it just depends on the what kind of expectations the person's putting out there. And I think a lot of the time people selling courses exaggerate so that they could sell courses. Because if you tell people the truth, which is that, hey, most day traders lose, even if you buy this course, you're still probably going to lose, which is the truth. That's one thing, right? Like I can take my Apex plugs as an example, right? Like I have a sponsor, it's Apex. One of my sponsors, I have a few, or affiliates, whatever you want to call it. Whenever I plug Apex, I always tell people the same thing, which is that even though you buy this, you're still probably going to lose, right? Because most day traders lose. And so I tell people that, say, hey, even if you buy this, you're still probably going to lose. Because again, that's the truth, right? So there's a difference between embellishing results, I think is the point. And I think a lot of people that sell courses, most of them, I would say, don't tell people the truth and instead exaggerate gains so that they can sell more courses. Yeah, day traders lose. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've had some good trades too. I'm not saying all day traders lose. I'm just saying most of them do. And as long as you have that expectation, I think you're going to have better risk management systems to begin with. If you understand that expectation that most day traders lose, you're going to have a better risk management system and design, because you're going to recognize that, hey, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Most traders lose. Let me build a good risk management system from it. And I think that's something that a lot of these people that are buying these overpriced courses, that's what they don't do, is that they don't have good risk management. Anyways. All right, chat. We're waiting for the market to open. Again, I think we could get choppiness today. I don't think we could. I don't think we're going to get anything crazy volatile in terms of big swings. Or we might have big swings. But yeah. I think we could also have sideways action. What do you guys think? What kind of price action we get today? You think we're going to have choppy sideways action, bullish action, bearish action? What do you all think? So Bronny James declaring for the draft? No. This is a troll. Never mind. Do y'all think he's going to make it to the NBA? I don't think so. He's too short. He's taller than me. Okay. I'm not hating. I just don't think he's that. I don't think he's good enough. Unfortunately. Did he declare? I thought this was a troll post. How was your view of the eclipse yesterday? I couldn't really see it. It was rainy, cloudy. I think NVIDIA news is going to prop the market up today. Tomorrow's going to be red. Yeah, it depends on what CPI shows up tomorrow. We have CPI tomorrow. The next day we have PPI. We have jobless claims. We've got bank earnings on Friday. After today, it's going to be a pretty volatile, busy week. So we are going to have some craziness, but yeah. Yeah, we are going to have some day trading or some craziness tomorrow and for the rest of the week, really. So we did have Tilray earnings and cannabis. They missed mostly. All right. So very flat period leading into the open. Yeah, there's a very famous quote, Mikey said, my biggest revelation is that sometimes you just have to sit. There's a very famous quote, I say it a lot, which is, money's not made in trading, it's made in waiting. And I can't remember who said it, but somebody said it. So guys, I stabbed myself with a fork the day before yesterday. I actually have the prong marks on my hand. You see that? I stabbed myself with a fork. Accidentally, of course. I was trying to skin an avocado without a spoon and with a fork, and the fork went straight through the avocado right into my hand. Oof. It might actually negatively influence my jiu-jitsu skills, unfortunately. I realized in that moment why they call it a fork. This is a true story. My daughter made fun of me so much. I realized in that moment why they call it a fork. It's because it has 4 prongs. You know, genius. I had a revelation in that moment. I stabbed myself with the fork. I don't know what should I wrap my hand? I literally have prong marks on my hand. Like, look at that. It went deep too. Like, it went straight through the avocado and straight into my hand. You know, it bled and everything. Freaking forks, man. What are you gonna do? True story. My daughter's still making fun of me to this day. Again, funny enough, that's when I figured out that a fork was called fork, because it has 4 prongs. My daughter said she already knew that because of some meme video, but, you know, I'm not enlightened enough to see those videos, I guess. Darwinism. Hey. No, I didn't shout fork. I shouted something else with an F, but it wasn't fork. Machado has missing fingers. Jiu-jitsu will be fine. I guess that's true. Yeah, I okay boomered myself. It's all good. Listen, I know. I know, man. Listen. Just keep your hands clean. What about jiu-jitsu, though, bro? I think I'll still be fine. The only pressure is... like, I can grip fine. The only way it hurts is if I do this fist. So I'm not really punching anything, so I still think I'll be alright. If you stuck with canned food products like Spam, this wouldn't happen. I know, man. Listen. Lesson learned, okay? I was eating El Rey. El Rey, one of the best Cuban-Mexican places in Houston. If you haven't been, go. It's good. Get the enchiladas. They're really good. Guac futures. All right, chat. Hey, we got 15 minutes. What's your view long-term on Netflix? I like Netflix. It's just up so much. I ended up making a lot of money on Netflix as it rebounded back, right? So if we look at Netflix, I did make some money on this over the last year or two. Again, I bought the dip down here, if I remember correctly. We're testing highs on the NASDAQ too. NVIDIA's pushing up. But I bought the dip. You know, I watched NVIDIA or Netflix fall big. So I watched this big dip. And again, like, I thought it was an overreaction. Netflix dipped from 700 plus all the way down to under 200 at one point in time. So when it did that, Netflix makes tons of money. They make tons of money. They are by far the biggest streaming software, biggest streaming service in the world. And so when they dipped under 200 bucks, I thought it was an obvious overreaction. And I ended up buying that dip and making some money from it. Because again, my argument at the time was that in Netflix, they've been producing higher and higher quality content. They're changing the way movies are produced in general. They are having their own movies get produced. Amazon's doing a similar thing, but it's a little bit more behind Netflix. And they're just producing higher quality content. They're raising their prices as well. And they have hundreds of millions of users. And so I thought they would rebound, and they did. At this point in time, though, we're kind of getting back up to where we were, right? So in terms of like whether we're extended, I could argue that we are, and I'm not going to necessarily buy it way up here. It's just too high up there. But I still think I still like Netflix long term. I'm not necessarily interested in buying it up here. I'm in ARM right now. I bought ARM on IPO day. My average price is 63.50s. I don't know what it's going to do, though. So, it's up to 133s today. That looks good. All right, so we ripped over those highs. Again, we still got 14 minutes left. I'm trying to be patient here, but... So yeah, look at this huge spike here. Is this from something? Lucid produced 1728. So Lucid had production numbers. MasterCard realigned organizational structure and further support of its strategic priorities. Okay, look at this spike. I don't know what blue chip stock is spiking up, guys. Does anybody know? ARM is ripping up. AMD, Apple spiking up a lot. It could be Apple. Let me look at Microsoft. Not Microsoft, Amazon. So this is Apple. Apple spiking up a little bit. I don't know why, but we're in Apple right now, so I like to see it. Nice little rip, though. How strong are you? How much do you lift? How much do you deadlift? I could probably deadlift like 400 pounds, maybe. You know, maybe a little bit over that. My back is pretty strong. You know, top 3 strongest backs in the world right now, I think. I could probably bench, like, it's been a while since I've maxed out my bench. I don't know. I could probably bench, like, right now, maybe, like, 240. If I maxed it out, I could probably do maybe, like, 250, 260. But, again, it's been a while since I maxed out. I'm getting old, bro. I don't really like maxing out anything right now. The beard makes me stronger. I'm like Samson, bro, but with a beard. Alright, so Apple's up. I don't know why it's up. Flex your muscles. I'm good, dude. Like, I'm not, like, small. Like, you know. I mean, I'm not huge either. It's not like I'm crazy big or anything, you know. I'm probably pretty average height. I weigh, like, 175 pounds. I'm, like, 5'11", you know. So, I mean, I'm not, like, crazy big or anything. Please? No, I'm good, dude. Yeah, I already get hurt enough from jiu-jitsu, man. I really do. Like, I've had, like, groin, hip problems. I've had, like, groin and hip problems since I started. It might be from sitting so much. Listen, I sit all day. Y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell, chat if you haven't already. I tried. Yeah, you tried. You gotta pay me, bro. Donate money, I'll flex for you, you know. Yeah. We don't do that for free around here, bro, you know. No, I'm just joking. Don't donate money. I don't know if I'm gonna flex either way. Yeah, it could be my hip flexor. It's probably from guard and jiu-jitsu. Is most likely what it is. All right, chat, we got 9 minutes left. 9 minutes. I have a standing desk right now. So my desk is a standing desk. All right, uptrend on the day before CPI. It doesn't mean anything yet. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything yet. No, it's not my inside legs. My legs feel fine. What it is it's like, it's between my groin and my right leg. And so it's not my leg. It's not my muscles or anything like that. Like, it's not muscle related. It's hard to explain. I looked it up. It said it could be from sitting for extended periods of time. I might need to stand up this desk, you know. Yeah, it's probably my hip flexor, I'm pretty sure. Where's gold at today? Did gold pull back at all? Still up. Bitcoin dipping down a little bit. It's still under 71K. Have you tried flexibility exercises? Yeah. Yeah, I've tried a lot of stuff. It's been going on for like 6 months now, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it's jiu-jitsu related, though, because I had another guy that's like one of my rolling partners that said he has the same type of injury. Or not the injury. I think it could be arthritis from getting old. Standing desk and a treadmill. Yeah. All right, chat. Market's about to open. Again, you can kind of see the NASDAQ is up today. It's been running up most of the morning. Tesla, I mean. All right, chat. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. All right, a typical person thinks they need $1.5 million to retire comfortably, according to Northwestern Mutual. It's 17 times larger than the average savings of about $90K. Gold's been running the last like week, really. So gold's been moving a lot the last week. All right, chat, here we go. All right, so Apple turning all the way back down here, guys. Apple, like, it had a nice little pop. It's now turned all the way back down. I might short this. I know it's pretty close to the open. I don't really want to hold this through the opening bell. And just getting punished. Not really punished, but we kept it small size. Again, Apple just turned quickly down. No, I never slipped. This is again, it's jiu-jitsu injury related. Again, you got to understand the nature of jiu-jitsu, which is very hip intensive. Like, you use your hips a lot, and you keep them activated for a long time. All right, so we're gonna take half of this off just because we're trying to hurry up. I don't want to hold this through the opening bell. I'm going to cut this. So we made a little bit there. Yeah, we're completely flat on the day. We basically made all our money we lost back in pre-market. So that's nice to see. Do you lift regularly? Yes. Yeah, I lift. I would say I'd probably lift 2 times a week at least. I'm trading commodities right now. Somebody said, what do you think about commodities trading? I'm trading them right now. Amazon just broke highs though, so if you want to know why the market hasn't corrected enough because Apple corrected down, it's probably because Amazon just broke highs. So look at Amazon up here. So Amazon just ripped up and broke highs, pulling everything else back up. I used to go more before jiu-jitsu because it's hard to do both. It's hard to go to the gym regularly and train jiu-jitsu, and so I completely stopped doing cardio at the gym because jiu-jitsu is so much cardio that like I was like 180, 185 pounds when I started doing it, and then now I'm like 175, so I've lost weight. But now I try to at least go still a couple times a week to the gym. I just can't go as much. All right, chat. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Look at Amazon, though, guys. Look at Amazon. Amazon's a heavily weighted stock, too. It's up to 187s right now. So Amazon's popping up big right before the opening bell, too. I don't know. You get Social Security, fro. I mean, you know, once you're older. Apple bouncing, Amazon bouncing back up too. So Apple popped right back up. It's basically back up to where it was. Amazon's very strong right now though, so 175 pounds, put some meat on those bones. Bro, I mean, again, it's hard with jiu-jitsu, man. Again, I was up to 180, 185, which is, you know, for my height. Yeah, my height, the low end is 172, you know, or the average is 172, I mean. So, I mean, I'm above average in terms of my height, in terms of weight. Before jiu-jitsu, I was 180, 185, so I was definitely above average. No, I don't really use judo moves. All right, guys, 45 seconds. Amazon's still ripping up. I did judo when I was young, but I don't remember most of it. I think I have good takedown defense from it though. Like I'm hard to take down, and my favorite moves are like neck chokes, like guillotines, anacondas, darces. I like a good ankle lock as well though, but again, Apple up there trying to make moves. No, I didn't wrestle in high school. All right, guys, 15 seconds. I don't know. Judo, I don't know. I think you could argue the usefulness of judo in actual self-defense, but, you know. All right, guys, there's the opening bell. I don't know where gold's going to go. Amazon at 187s. Let's see if we get anything today, Chad. I'm ready. NVDA spiking a little bit. Looks strong, but again, I'm not going to jump in prematurely. I think I should wait. Amazon's turning back down, giving back a lot of the gains that it made just now. Apple's bouncing up though. So we'll see if what we hold, whether we hold or not. All right, so then there's the market moving up. Let's see if we go green on the day. I'm gonna short this. It's kind of risky, but I think NVIDIA's starting to turn. And so there's 3 contracts. There we go. All right, we took out most of this, and it jumped so quickly. We're green on the day, but it turned on us so fast. I got one contract here, so I'm just gonna play with this. It's no risk basically here though, but man, I guess I'll get out there. So we're green on the day. First time all day. This is the comeback trend of the day. So we were down much more. We finally came our way back up, so that's all good. I'm going to short at the top of the range, which was the plan at the start of the day. It's a very risky position just because we do get like big pops and bounces at the open. And we're back to red. All right, we'll play with it. We'll take another 3. We'll add a little bit more to this. All right, we're making our money now. There you go. All right, so we're out. We're up about 50 bucks. A little bit less actually, but still up enough. How should a newbie start my first trade? In a paper account, in a demo account, Ruben? Yeah, you had to delete something, Pawn. What did somebody say? Oh, 0 day to expiry options. Don't listen to anybody here, bro. Yeah, definitely one of the top 3 worst P&L ratios, dude. Our drawdown today is $244. We are up $37 today. So, yep. Honestly, we were correct about the direction, though. At least we're green. We could have been down. Market's starting to flush back down a little bit. NVIDIA dumping all the way to 866, dragging the market back down with us here, chat. Amazon dumping down. Apple's still holding, though, so that's nice. Somehow I'm green on the day. I don't know how. I'll take it, I guess. Yeah, definitely top 3 comebacks in the world right now. I'm in Alibaba right now. It's spiking up today. That's nice. You'd love to see it. Again, I'm betting on choppiness today, so I'm going to buy at the bottom of this range. All right, we got 3 contracts here. All right, there's 4. Turn. Go up. All right, we're taking a risk for the first, a large risk again. Not a large risk, but like a medium-sized risk, I would say. All right, we just took half of that risk off, locked it in. Took a little bit more off there, locked that in, and then boom, got out the rest. All right, chat, we're up almost 100 on the day now. Again, today is CPI day, so we're betting on choppiness, and that's what we got. You love to see it. So here is the P&L today. Looking a lot better here. Starting to grind up. We'll take it. Apple back up. Again, I don't think Amazon's going to hold, though. And so I think we'll probably come back down, to be honest here. I'm not confident enough in it for me to take the trade. Again, I might be wildly wrong about everything. Do not sue me. I'm not an investment professional. Do not copy me. Might be wildly wrong about everything I say. With that said, though, guys, if you haven't already, check out our sponsors. We are trading on a funded account program called Apex. Our risk is limited, but we're funded with $50,000 in Apex funded account. Again, what Apex does is they give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you lose the challenge, your risk is limited. You only lose what you pay for it. The base one's $30-$35 a month. It's very cheap. If you lose it, you're only out $30-$35. But again, if you're good enough to pass the base one, you get $25,000 in funding with a 90% split. They have tons of great resources. You get to keep your first $25K in profit. And again, to be fair, I think most day traders lose, but it's a lot cheaper to try this for your first account than to put up thousands of dollars and lose that. And most day traders lose, and so losing your first account is very probable. And instead of risking thousands of dollars, even hundreds of dollars, it's a lot cheaper. You still have some pressure. You're still learning how to trade under pressure, but your risk is limited. And in the futures market, it gets you around the PDT rule. If you want to day trade stocks, you need 25K with a margin account to be able to actively day trade without restriction. And that's a dumb thing because most new traders lose. So if you cause a new trader to trade a $25,000 account, bad things happen. Instead, limit your risk. In the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, basically the SPY price action. You can day trade the NASDAQ QQQ price action. You can day trade gold, silver, currencies. The patterns are very similar to blue chips. There's just no PDT rule. So it's a great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. And it looks like I was wrong in this direction. But again, if you want to check out Apex, use my promo code BT, beginner trading. It gets you the max discount. There's the link. Mahogany John, the GOAT. Wait, how old are you, Ruben? You said you're a young kid? If you are, I'm not talking to you. How old are you? Oh, no, you just said you're a newbie. My bad, bro. Okay. As long as you're not like, okay. Gold and silver doing things. Apple's rising up, and we're in Apple, so you love to see it. Amazon is breaking down, though. And again, we were wrong. We thought this would come back down. Amazon is falling down. NVIDIA's coming back down as well. I think Apple's raising this higher, though, so that's nice. We're actually green in stocks in our equities trade, so that's nice to see as well. Apple's certainly helping us. Amazon's looking weak. Yeah, Google. We're in Google as well. We took a little bit of profit in there, but it's had a great day. Ocean's 12 is the worst one, man. You want to watch Ocean's 12, bro? Worst one, arguably. You know, Ocean's 13 is good. Ocean's 11 is good. Ocean's 12, ugh. Boring. You know, I don't care about some heist overseas. I want to see a casino heist, bro. You know, I would argue it's top 4, bruh. You know, my daughter wants to watch it. I'm like, you know. Man, what is spiking up right now? Oh, Apple is. Okay. Apple's dragging this market up, chat. Apple up to almost 170, flying up right now. Some good news had to come out, no? White House economic advisor Brainerd says she expects steady progress on inflation in the coming months. That's good. Lucid reporting numbers. Produced almost over 1,700 vehicles. Expected 2,100 though, and delivered 1,960 vehicles. They expected 1,740. So they delivered a lot. They didn't produce as much as they thought though. Again, Apple dragging everything back up here, chat. Testing the top of the range here. Again, I think we're gonna have choppy flat action today though. So. All right, chat. Yeah, we're watching the market. I'm not really a big believer right now. If we get a little dip, I might target it. But again, the plan was to attack choppiness today. And so part of me wants to short up here. At the same time, though, chat, we're also already up a good bit on the day. And it was a day where we were down a pretty big amount as well. So we're going to be selective, I think, right now, chat. We need to be selective. Why NVIDIA drops every day? I mean, it's just correcting a little bit. It's been up so much, though, man. Like, NVIDIA's had crazy runs. And so if you look at a yearly chart, it's not the craziest downtrend you've ever seen. You know, over time, like, it's been mostly sideways since the beginning of March, right? So this is the range since March. It's been mostly flat. Hasn't really had some big downward negative trend like people were acting like, so... I'm going to short this, I guess, although we're going to take 2 contracts. It's a risky thing. We're not going to risk like our gains on the day, though, so we're going to take small trades now for a little bit and see if we can build up a larger cushion. There we go. All right, took half off, and we're going to have to get out the rest there. So, yeah, nice little day so far, man. And really, we took this based off of Chart Prime. Look at the 5-minute indicator on Chart Prime. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, okay? Shameless plug. But again, just backtest this yourself. Again, I try to do it live every day at least once. Look at the strong signal show up. The buy signal show up. This one was wrong. This one, you got a nice little rip up there. Strong red signal, beautiful bounce, or beautiful dip. Buy signal way down there, beautiful bounce. Strong signal, beautiful drops from it. Buy signal way back here. And then we recently got another sell signal. And again, I can't guarantee these are going to work. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. But backtest it yourself. Only one of these didn't work at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, you know, genuinely impressive in my opinion. Again, it's like $40 if you use my link. Great way to help support the channel. It's a company called Chart Prime. You can use it on stocks, crypto, Forex, futures, whatever you want to use it on. And with a symbol on TradingView, you can. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. And that's just a small piece of what they offer. So you can check it out here if you want to help support your boy here in this channel. Again, we thought we'd get choppiness today, and that's exactly what we're getting, right? So, again, one of the things that you'll notice is very consistent in markets is that day before CPI and really the market leading into CPI is very neutral, very flat, very boring, very sideways, right? So remember, a big inflation report drops tomorrow. A big inflation report after that drops Thursday. Bank earnings drop Friday. These are a lot of big economic, releases. And so one of the things that you see happen is traders slow down leading into these reports. And so what do we get on days like this is exactly what we thought we would this morning, and really what we based a lot of our trades around today, which is like sideways action. One of the things you saw me do a lot today was short at the tops. Instead of usually where sometimes the moves can signal strength, you short at the tops, you wait for it to come back down, you cover towards the bottom or wherever the bottom of the range is. And again, that worked really, really well today. Really, really well so far, at least. Again, we were down big. We made our money back. And so that's good. We ended net profit, which is good. But yeah, just a choppy day leading into CPI. We'll see if we get anything else better. I'll check it out, Sam. Looking at like gold. I lost money on gold earlier. Silver. What is silver? Is it SV? What is silver? I always get this wrong, man. What is silver? S? No, SLV. I never get silver right. I'm staying short unless the report tomorrow goes in the other direction. I'm not buying anything this high. Yeah, I feel you. Here's gold. Dollar index. Again, what are we getting, guys? Choppy action. Exactly what I thought we would, man. Dixie down today. Just be smart, guys. Remember, it can be just very choppy today. And again, we've been day trading on Apex. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA's pretty flat today too, although it did have an opening weakness. But one of the things you see me do a lot is I look at NVIDIA recently. And you're always going to have a stock like this in market. So one of the things you see me a lot in futures on Apex, right? And this is an Apex funded account in futures. This is a 50K account. And we are net profit in this 50K account, by the way, too. Again, they give you a demo, test your skill. You pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you're only out what you pay for it. Limit your risk. You can check out them out in the description. But this is an Apex account. One of the things you see me do is I'll look at NVIDIA. Right? And if NVIDIA starts to have a big milestone break of like a milestone level, then I'll try to take the appropriate trade in the NASDAQ, right? Because NVIDIA, this chart right here is so influential over this left side that like I don't need to be able to day trade stocks and futures. I just need to be able to watch stocks and watch the influence they have on index funds like the NASDAQ 100. And so if NVIDIA makes a big move under the VWAP, under the 200 EMA, it's more probable for me, in my opinion, to take a short trade on the NASDAQ and make money. It's not always perfect. But like a few stocks that I look at NVIDIA, I look at Apple, I look at Amazon. Big fan, get banned. What's news this week besides inflation data? So we have CPI tomorrow. We've got the FOMC minutes report tomorrow. We've got PPI tomorrow. Or we got PPI the day after tomorrow. We've got bank earnings on Friday. So a lot of big stuff. A lot of big stuff coming out. Again, the whole market might be kind of choppy today because of this, right? This is how we kind of shorted at the top. And again, we did get another choppy neutral trend. So, yeah, it's been a really choppy day, to be honest. We're somehow green in equities and green day trading as well. So we're green on our investments, swing trades. So far, at least, it depends. The market could certainly turn. And we're also green day trading today somehow. So, again, if you want to check out any of my sponsors, again, if you want to day trade, again, if you want to learn to day trade, do not put up thousands yourself. Try the funded account program. If you use promo code BT, you get money off. It's a great way to limit your risk in day trading. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, but I truly do think it's a good way to learn day trading with limited risk. I lost thousands when I got started, but yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. I'm gonna close it down and just enjoy my day. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, CPI data tomorrow. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Big inflation data released tomorrow. Will move markets, will cause volatility, will be chaotic in markets. And again, we're going to cover the whole thing live. We get thousands of people tuning into these big streams because we cover them very, very quickly. So we cover them very, very quickly. So subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning covering the inflation report. Again, expectations for that report are, let me find them. Again, they're I saw Jamie Dimon talking about inflation expectations. I want you guys to understand, okay, CPI, the only CPI metric that's expected to drop is the year-over-year report from that's expected to go up is the year-over-year base CPI from 3.2 to 3.4. Month to month, which is the more recent report, is expected to decrease from 0.4 to 0.3%. Core CPI is expected to decrease month to month from 0.4 to 0.3%. Core CPI year over year, which excludes food and energy, is expected to decrease from 3.8 to 3.7%. And so I'm not a big fan of Dimon. I think he's wrong a lot. And I think he knows he's intentionally misleading people sometimes. And I think I'm not saying that we're going to go up from CPI tomorrow. I'm not saying that we're going to come in lower than expected. We could come in higher than expected. It could be bad, right? What I'm saying is, like, you can't base your predictions purely off of Jamie because, again, he's been wrong a lot. He told people we'd be in a recession right now, and we're not. And so take what he says with a grain of salt. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys later.